Well, like I mentioned in my other video, I set this up. We have our standless studio setup. We have our fabric on our wall with Velcro, and we have our baseboard in front of the existing baseboard, which creates a little bit of a gap. And so if you're shooting from above, you're going to be able to see that shadow. If you're shooting from below, it won't be as evident. But how do we keep that from happening? Well, you're going to need to move the fabric wall forward so that it's right next to the baseboard that we have. So how do we do that if we don't have a stand? Well, I have a couple of ideas, but today I'm going to show you one that involves using a wooden dowel, just like this one, and a set of general purpose hooks that you can find at Home Depot. And they're little command strips, so I suggest you use those because you don't have to worry about nailing anything down. I think I paid about $4 for maybe 4 of these big ones or 3 of these big ones. And all you have to do is take this little puppy off and it comes right off your wall without creating any scratches or peeling off paint. So we're going to use that and this and a fabric to make a backdrop, and it's going to look fantastic. Alright, so we have our hooks, our dowel, our backdrop, our floor, and our baseboard. We're ready to go. Going to tape the hook to the wall. Now, you're going to need somebody to help you measure where these hooks are going to go. You are going to need somebody to help you make sure that it's level. But I've already had somebody do that for me. So I've already marked the wall and I have one hook up already. I got this dowel. It's a little bit shorter. I had this already. I didn't want to go buy another one. This is about a 48-inch dowel, which is perfect for some of the fabrics that you find at like Home Depot, at Michael's or Hobby Lobby. Those are all 44, 45-inch fabrics, but they're pretty small. It'll work with newborns, so if you need, like in my first video, I was telling you how to choose certain fabrics for your backdrops. If you want to start with the 48-inch wide fabrics because they're pretty cheap, this 48-inch dowel will work perfectly. So what I ended up doing for, just to show you guys here today, is I went ahead and cut one of my regular size fabric drops to be about 48 inches wide. Normally, you would have to find a dowel that's larger than 48. 60-inch would be perfect because that will fit all of my backdrops anyway. So when this goes up, that's the reason why it fits the dowel. It's only 4 feet across. So we're going to go ahead and get this ready. Now have already placed this one up here. There we are. It's up here. Now we need to put the other one on the other side so that we can hook it up. So I'm going to do that. We've already measured it. My daughter came over and helped me, so I know exactly where I'm going to put it. Take the tape off. Find my X. Put it right here. This is a perfect way to keep stuff away from the wall, not have to worry about nailing any holes to them and messing up your walls and having people yell at you. I don't want people yelling at me. So now we got our rod. I'm going to put it on our stand. Voila! Look at that. Pretty cool, huh? Now, you can still see that it's moving around. This is where your baseboard is going to come into play because that's what's going to keep it nice and taut. So we're going to work on that now. Okay, so we have it up on our stand. And what we want to do now is make it nice and taut so that it looks like a wall, because right now it just kind of looks like a curtain. So the best thing to do is to use your hard floor to lay on top of it. Otherwise, you'd have to clamp it to the baseboard. But since we have this floor, because you have carpet, we're going to use this to make it nice and taut. First, you're going to make sure that there's enough of the backdrop to lay on the ground, because you're going to need to lay something on top of it so that it makes it nice and tight. So we have enough. This is about a 6-foot drop. It's great for older kids. It's a nice size, but even the 1.5 yard my minis will do fine too. So they're great sizes. Move this over. See how it already made it tight. It's a little crooked, but you get the point. Alright, so you're going to play with this a little bit here, a little bit there, until you get the nice 90-degree angle that you need for your baseboard to stand nice and tight, nice and straight on. Just run your fingers down. Perfect. Now we need a floor. So you don't want to take a photo on this. You have 2 options. You have several options. You can use anybody's floor. I like my floor. I'm a little biased. I started selling these because I had a lot of people ask me about them. So I said, you know, I suppose I can add a couple of these. There. Do that. Or you can do this. And remember, it's important to make sure that this is nice and flat right here. Because if it's not, the baseboard will fall over. It's my double-sided board. We're going to use the black side. I don't know where the middle is, but I'm going to say it's right there. And voila! There you have it. Looks pretty good. So now you can put any kind of prop in front of it. Your kids can stand right here. You can see, if I were to sit up, you have plenty of room. Even if I were to stand up, there's plenty of room for you to take photographs of even your toddlers with my small backdrops. So I hope that you are able to take some of this information and use it in your home to help you build your business. And then once you are really doing well, you need to stop working so much on building things yourself. You can come to me and buy this stuff from me, and you don't have to worry about it anymore. So I hope you enjoyed it. Come back and see some of my other tutorials, and I'll show you how to use some of my other kits. Thanks.